Mounjaro shortage update, Zepbound shortage update, 5 key things you need to know of what's going on with the update this week. Hi friends, I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I have lost a whopping 84 plus pounds over the last 15 months of taking Mounjaro and now Zepbound because of the Mounjaro shortage and Zepbound shortage. We're gonna dive in immediately. I've got free resources linked down for you below for countessofshopping.com, 50 plus free articles, a free encouragement group, but we'll get to more of those free resources for you, a free meal plan that's dietitian curated. But let's talk about this shortage. Because if you can't get your medication, all that other stuff is superfluous. Number one, we have been talking in my previous video, if you saw it, about the vial release from Eli Lilly. It was off of the FDA Access Data website. You can get that down below in the description, or on other videos, I've given that reference link for it. So here where the Zepbound information for vials was added to that PDF, there's the information on a Zepbound vial. The Martinsville, Virginia, the rural Virginia in me wants to say vial. It's not vial. I'm intentionally trying not to be like my normal self, which is vial. These vials would probably help absolve a lot of this shortage problems for us. Would you not agree? And so I've done, this is my, 5th update on this. So over 200 plus videos here on YouTube. This is my 5th Mounjaro shortage update video and Zepbound shortage update video. But we have the information, Eli Lilly, the manufacturer of Mounjaro and Zepbound, that would help absolve this problem with a shortage, because the shortage relates to this bad boy, the pen. The way that the pen, that is what's causing this shortage for Mounjaro and Zepbound. It is the manufacturing of the pen. It's not the actual liquid gold in there, the terazepatide. It's the pen. And so having a vial would absolve that problem. But here's what you have told me in my group of over almost 10,000 people. And that free encouragement group, not paid, free, totally. Don't join that group though. If you're not nice and if you're not fun, please don't join my group. I only want quality, fun, nice people. It's linked down below, but don't to be in that group unless you're fun and nice. And if you are fun and nice and haven't gotten in that group, by the way, shoot me an email. It's because there's spammers and there's a couple things that flag you as a potential spammer. And if you're not, just email me, which is in the description link below. That vial will clear April 30th. Brad, one of our amazing Countess of Shopping, he's one of my brothers, one of our counts in the group, is like, he had said this and I would agree with him. On April 30th, mark your calendar, is Eli Lilly, the manufacturer of Mounjaro and Zepbound, is having their investment call for investors. We had the last one in February. And so when people are like, how do you know that the shortage is not going to get absolved until the end of the year, until the end of 2024? Because of that investor call, that is my source. And y'all know I'm a stickler about being factually accurate here at Countess of Shopping. I'm not one of those woo-woo channels. I will specifically tell you if something is my opinion, and if it's factual, and if it's not factually accurate, you best be correcting me lovingly in the comments, because this is a factually accurate source. I refuse to not have a factually accurate channel here on YouTube. I'm not one of those people. So the factually accuracy of it was in February on the investor call from Eli Lilly is when they had said in that notes of that call that we're going to see a shortage till the end of 2024 for Mounjaro. Zepbound just got added to the FDA shortage list. And if you saw my previous videos, I told you before there was a shortage going on for Zepbound before it was announced. That's why you want to click the like and subscribe button, because we got great people here, myself, and learning from, I mean, this is a really strong community, which I love you guys so much, by the way. I just got back from the YouTube summit that I was invited to because of our community. So thank you guys. I was selected out of hundreds of thousands of creators to go to YouTube. Anyways, I appreciate you. So April 30th, we're going to know more information, which is, as of today's filming date, almost 3 weeks. It's 20 days away. I will be actively finding out information, because that, I think, is when they're going to talk more about this vial information. But we know from our Aussie, oi friends in my free group, they're using the vials. That is how they're getting their Mounjaro, is through vials in Australia, per my group members. Multiple have said that, because we have people who are from the UK and Australia and other people who are getting these medications. They are using the vials. I have not confirmed that though, by the way, PS. I'm sharing, this is where I want to make sure who's my source? Cite that source. It better be, citing those sources. It was from group members who have said that they're taking the vials. Now, you can get vials through compounds, and that's one of the things about this shortage that I want to tell you. You can get a compound as long as the medication is on an FDA shortage list. Where the problem arises is where there's not reputable compound sources. There's a lot of scammers out there. And I know, tried and true, I work with Join Fridays. You can see me interview the co-founder. I've used them for months. Thousands of counts and countesses have gone with Join Fridays because you guys trust me, which I hold that trust like gold. I never want to abuse that trust. So if I'm recommending something to you, I take so much thought, prayer, consideration before I give a recommendation, and trust and believe I've grilled and before using. You need to do your due diligence, of course, always. But me giving that, I use them. Use the code QUEEN if you choose to move over to them because they prescribe both brand names and compounds. So if you can't get your brand name because of the Mounjaro shortage, because of the Zepbound shortage, I'm moving over to compounds. In 1 week, I can get my prescription refilled. I'm not going to get it. I'm going to call my pharmacy, as I've taught you guys to do. Call your pharmacy 1 to 2 days in advance to see how their supply is. They're not going to have it. And then I'm going to go over to Fridays and say, release the hounds. Release the compounds. Now, here's where some of the problems lie that you guys, I need to give you guys the big update on. Join Fridays and other places too, but I don't recommend other places because I have experience, strength, and hope with Join Fridays, and I know that they're reputable, and I know that their compound pharmacies are nationwide. If you're in California, you can only get compounds from very, very limited sources. It's one of those states, and Join Fridays is one of those limited resources you can get compounds from in your state. Louisiana and Mississippi, is that right? Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Mississippi, I'm pretty sure it's Louisiana, Mississippi. You can't do compounds. Some states, those are the two that just don't allow it. Your state, which is fascinating to me out of all the states. And isn't Mississippi like one of the worst health states? I digress. Love Mississippi, but found that interesting. Those were the two states. I could be wrong on Louisiana though. Mississippi, I'm like 95% sure. But they're the two I'm pretty sure you can't get compounds on. Check on Join Friday's website. Use that code QUEEN when you check out, but on their website, it will tell you you can't get if you're in these two states. And they'll update that as if other states join that wave. Getting compounds, this is where it's key. They're running 1 to 2 weeks behind on their appointments. They're teleappointments. It's a telehealth company for GLP-1 weight loss medications. Their focus is weight loss. That's why, like, super important to go with an expert. Like, that's why I go with them. My primary care doctor was dealing with cold sniffles and strep throat. That was what they were great at. Great. If I had the sniffles, great. Obesity, chronic obesity management, and my diabetes care, but they're a chronic obesity management company. Like, that's their jam. So going with them, and what's really, really important with this is they're running 1 to 2 weeks because people like them. People like them. So you need to plan that. Don't wait till the last minute, babes. We already have a shortage. Don't make a shortage for getting your telehealth appointment. Once you're in the system with Join Fridays, this is where it's cool. If you have the same prescription for the same 3 months, you can do what's called asynchronization. You can just send a note being like, hey, can you refill my prescription? Like, you don't need to have a video chat. But normally you have a video chat, you meet with your telehealth care provider. So you need to know that information in terms of refills. This is where we're seeing the August update I had previously given you was not correct. The shortage is going past that till the end of August. Not till the end of August, that's for Australia. For the end of the US is going to be the end of 2024 per that Eli Lilly investors call as my source. So you need to plan accordingly. And I know you guys can't see what's on my page. It's for me to stay focused so I don't get ADD squirrel. The compound is 1 to 2 weeks. I know, 1 to 2 weeks behind. I know, you don't need to tell me in the comments. Tell me if I have a booger in my nose, but you don't need to tell me why are you holding up your notepad, which by the way, my birthday's coming up and I told the account, I was like, I want more of these notepads. I'm obsessed with them. I'll link them down in the description link below, as is my Amazon Mounjaro shopping list and all my other links for my free resources. The compound, so getting that, and so then shipping to you, the shipping is going to take, I think, 1 week to 2 weeks potentially. It's getting shipped from a reputable compound. It depends on where you live, what state you live in, because they work with multiple compound pharmacies, the most reputable in the United States. You need to do your due diligence always, but this has been my experience, strength, and hope. So I have that on standby for when I'm not able to get my prescription next week. Release the hounds. I'm going to move over to compound. I'm right there with you guys. Number 4, in terms of our Mounjaro shortage update and Zepbound shortage update. I need like a theme song to go. It's so stressful. It makes my blood pressure rise so much. Traveling. So for my job, I'm traveling a bunch. I'm an executive producer for one of my clients is on the national speaking tour, and I'm a video strategist. And so I'm going to be shooting for her and doing video strategy at this major doctor conference thing. And so, before that I was in YouTube. I went out to LA, and before that I was on Oprah and was in LA. And so my travel schedule has jacked with my refill schedule, which if I'm not on it in terms of when I refill, that clicks the clock of getting my refills. When is your refill date? Do you know? Tell me in the comments below. This is my poll question for you guys today. Do you know today, like right now, like off the top of your head, I can tell you, I'm not going to, but I can tell you exactly the specific date for my refill. Can you do that? I have auto reminders set up to tell me, but do you have some sort of system to tell you when to get your refill? It makes me sweat literally in my armpits when people in my free group, there's thousands of people say, oh, I don't know when my refill is. I'm like, there's a shortage going on. Do you not know? Like, you need to be on the ball with this. One of our great group members is like, I traveled to another state to get my prescription. Another group member is like, I drove 5 hours to get my prescription. Like, that's where we're at. And I'm not telling you this, by the way, to be henny penny, the sky is falling. I'm not one of those creators that is trying to incite panic to get clickbait from you, because there are some people out there that do that, and I'm not one of those people. I'm simply giving you the information, and I want you to take a pause and a beat. Don't get stressed about this. Trust and believe I've gotten stressed. Things I can control and things I can change, and things I cannot control and things I cannot change. I cannot control the shortage. I can control knowing when I call my pharmacy to find out if they have my medication and the action steps after that. But there's a lot of stuff, things I can change and things I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference is my prayer for myself and for you. I already pay enough for Botox. I don't want any more Botox appointments for getting upset and having squish. So I'm trying to keep my cool as a cucumber. My travel schedule with this, I've had to plan extra as a result of the shortage. And that subsequently also for the shortage information is number 5 is you're titrating up. For me, this affected my titration schedule. If I went to 10 milligrams, I'm pretty sure if I'm remembering back, because I've been on this 15, almost 16 months. Remembering back, I think I went to 10 milligrams because of the shortage. I couldn't get Mounjaro 7.5 milligrams, and that's why I titrated up. In hindsight, I wish I had stayed at that level. So this may affect your titration if you have intentions of like, oh, my food chatter's back, or oh, I have no appetite suppression, or oh, my blood panels, or whatever. You and your healthcare provider, if you're with Join Fridays, use the code QUEEN, whatever your healthcare provider. And if you don't have that conversation with a healthcare provider, get another healthcare provider. They're not a good healthcare provider. How do I know that? My own experience, strength, and hope. I've done the game here. I've tested. And so that's why I want to tell you, find a healthcare provider that's nice and wonderful and that's going to listen to you. And yeah. So going back over to the titration thing, that is number 5. It could affect your titration. If you have intentions to titrate up, you might not be able to because of the shortage. If you have intentions to stay, you might not be able to because of the shortage. So thinking about that, in terms of, I mean, it's one more layer to add onto this cake. But I want you to be armed with information, but calmly. And that's tip number 6. I told you there was 5 key updates, but this is tip number 6, is I want you, actually I have 7. I take that back. There's one more after this. Number 6 is though, I want you to not, and I'm seeing this happen. I'm seeing it happen in my free group too, and I'll nip that right in the bud. I love that group so much. I love you guys so much. In that group, someone was talking about and started to blame these Hollywood starlets for stealing their medication. No boo. And people do it here on YouTube. I'm like, hide the comments. hide the comments. Not going to see your comment because it's not true. That is a hype. It's a great soundbite. Again, going back to great soundbites, I'm a video strategist. Great soundbite for people to watch videos is saying that it's Hollywood's fault and having a villain in this, right? Like we love fairy tales. We love Disney princesses. We love having a fairy tale. There's always a villain in fairy tales. Do you not think that there's been a villain figured out for this? Let's blame it on the Hollywood starlets, or let's blame it on people who only need to lose 10 or 15 pounds. No, that's actually not factually accurate. What is factually accurate is this is unprecedented volumes. Per Novo Nordisk, when I was on the Oprah show, specifically said that. Oops, that's not where I wanted to go. I want to show you guys my Oprah picture because gosh, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that experience. Me talking to Oprah was top 5 moment of my life. It was amazing. Very validating. Go watch that episode here on YouTube if you haven't seen it. Having a villain in this story is important, don't you think? I mean, just think it through. Just think it. We're smart people here at Countess of Shopping. Let's think it through. It helps take some of the heat off of what's happening. This is unprecedented results that we've never seen in my lifetime or yours. Unprecedented amounts. That is why we have a shortage, because it's life-changing. Do you see what's happening in the FDA? WEGOVY just got FDA approval for helping 20% reduction in cardiovascular activities and heart disease and strokes. I mean, that is huge. Just that alone for heart people, because isn't heart like one of the deadliest things? Like, doesn't that kill so many people per year? Like, right there. But then piggybacking off that for chronic obesity management, which affects something like a huge portion of people are obese. Huge. Then you piggyback that over to diabetics, type 2 diabetics. Huge. Like, there are all of these things. We're going to find out about the reduction for cancers in these pre-trials that we have. I mentioned on my last video about Parkinson's disease, which literally makes me tear up right now, and I don't want to cry in this video, so I'm not going to, about preliminary tests for helping with Parkinson's. If you've got somebody in your family with Parkinson's, for me and one of you guys, I'd mentioned in that video, by the way, and I'm just going to riff off this real fast. In my family, we have dementia. It is rampant and horrible in my family. I am curious about dementia linkages with this. For my own self, I have noticed my brain has changed, and I wish I had done a brain scan with Dr. Imen's brain facility. He's one of the top leading brain people. I wish I had done one previous, and then I wish I could do one now. I'm going to do one. I want to do a brain scan. Because my brain is different. I know it's different. I'm different than I was, not just physically, even though, I mean, losing 84 pounds, one does get a little bit different looking. One does look a little bit different. My life is completely changed. And that is why we're having a shortage. Is unprecedented amount of people like me are having life-changing things. My life expectancy prior to this was way different than what it is now, which is why I'm my husband and I are relooking at our retirement accounts, but I digress. We'll talk about that in another video. One of our awesome viewers, we have 2 awesome viewers here. One is a financial expert. I'm dying to know their take on Mounjaro and Zepbound and GLP-1s in conjunction with financial planning for retirement. If you want to have that video conversation, tell me in the comments below. I'm fascinated by that, but I digress. You heard it here first, that it's going to be a thing. People are going to start rifting and be like, oh, the Countess said that, so let me take that idea. But it's true. It's true. So number 7 of our key updates for this Mounjaro shortage and Zepbound shortage, I need to get a jingle going, is the discussion with your healthcare provider. If you are not in conversation with your healthcare provider, get a new healthcare provider. That is, she's just not that into you. Wasn't that a book back in the day? She's just not that into you, or he's just not that into you. Your healthcare provider, if they're not chatting with you, is just not that into you. Then they're not the right, in my opinion, the right healthcare provider for somebody if you're doing chronic obesity management or type 2 diabetes or both. Or now for our WEGOVY folks, the heart disease, you can get approved, which is how our Medicare folks, potentially not yet, it's not yet, but it's coming because now it has that FDA approval for heart disease, stroke, and cardiovascular events. It's going to be the back door for some of you on Medicare to get these medications, these meaning WEGOVY, those are for WEGOVY. That's why I told you to watch till the end, because I was going to have a nugget drop, nugget drop, because I know some of you folks have Medicare friends and they can't get these GLP-1s because they're on Medicare. Which is why we go back to compounds also having a reputable, that's the key phrase there. Now, Oprah, when I was on Oprah, The pharmaceutical reps were there. Pharmaceutical reps had their sound bites, make great sound bites, but how there was a study about bacteria and compounds. I would like to know more about that study because I think it's a great soundbite from pharmaceutical companies to say that there's these dangers with compounds, which there are. I'm not saying that there's not, because there are. However, we know the data of getting off GLP-1 medications, 70% of people gain it back, the weight back. In addition to many other things like inflammation and these other underlying subcategories for me, and I know for many of you too, because you tell me in my free encouragement group, link down in the description, link below. And so it makes for great sound bites to say that these are not reputable and things like that. In this instance, I would rather have a compound than go off this medication. As for my house, that is for me. You do you, and I want you to make educated decisions. Talk to your healthcare provider. I'm not a medical person. Don't feel, this is simply my experience, strength, and hope, and I'm sharing it with you to give you encouragement. Hopefully that's what you walk away with. Like, okay, I've got some things I can talk to my healthcare provider about. I've got some things I can pray about or talk to my spouse about or whatever, or my BFF or whatever, my dog. Mr. Freddie desperately, my dog, if you guys, my pit bull rescue, wants to come in here, but he's terrified of the studio. So we are working on training him to come, which I have new dog treats. I'll link those down in the description link below too, that he loves. So number 7 was having a discussion with your healthcare provider about this whole shortage thing and their opinion. They very well may be against compounds. I knew in my heart of hearts that compounds are right for me, which is why I also love Join Fridays, because I can pivot. During this shortage, you need to be able to pivot very quickly. And also when my pharmacy tells me my prescription is ready, I immediately drop what I'm doing and go. My family knows. With work stuff, I've now kind of adjusted my work schedule, to be honest, to be able to leave at the drop of a dime. And when I'm out of town, obviously for a client, that's not going to happen. When I'm here in rural Virginia, I will immediately go and pick up my prescription. I'm not letting that prescription wait, because you know what happens? I may not get the prescription. So staying on top of it, that is for me. And again, I do not want to be henny penny. I do not want to incite fear. I do not want to incite anxiety. Deep breaths, calmness. You are smart. If you're in the Countess of shopping community, I know you're smart and you're resourceful, and you're going to figure out solutions for this for you. For me, the right answer is I don't want to drive around all the time anymore. I'd rather get a compound shipped for me until this resolves itself, which it will. The ending's coming. The ending's coming. So my friends, hopefully this was some value for me, for you. Hopefully there's some value for you in that. 2 things. 1, I'm going to link down below all of my favorite best of Mounjaro, including my electrolytes that are super helpful, my daily vitamin. This was my travel bag when I just got back from that YouTube summit. Guess what was in there? My multivitamin. I haven't taken it today. I'm going to take it. I have discount codes for all of these. I buy everything off of Amazon except for my supplements. So get them straight from the vendors. I get everything else on Amazon though. These are my daily vitamins. Use the discount code below. And all of my other fabulous things. Protein, and protein. If you've not gotten my free, I hate chewing on camera. Sorry, now I regret this decision of eating this in front of you guys. No, my mouth's full. If you haven't gotten I want to hide behind this, but you can still, the mic's going to pick up the sound. I hate chewing. The Mounjaro meal plan, get that, it's free. I paid over $500 from a dietitian, not a nutritionist, a dietitian who has her master's degree in nutrition for GLP-1s to make this for us. So I own the rights, and so I can give it away for free. And people are like, why did you do that? Because I want to help you. Like you guys help me, and so I want to help you. I have the means to do that, so why not? Here's the free shopping list that goes with it. And then there's over 17 plus protein recipes on there too. Make sure you're focusing on protein. My favorite protein shake is Biocare. I've linked it down in the description link below. It's made intentionally for people on semaglutides and tirzepatides, meaning what we're taking, Mounjaro, Zepbound, WEGOVY, all that. Okay, we have 2 other things, and then I need to wrap. I need to go. I have a meeting. I realize I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a meeting I gotta go to. Today's emoji is going to be a glass, like a cup. You can't put a water emoji, by the way. YouTube filters that out. And if your comments get filtered too, by the way, some people's comments get filtered, just FYI. It's not because of anything you did. It's YouTube's, the filters, not my filters, YouTube filters. But today's emoji is going to be a glass. Cheers, a glass. And I'll know that you've watched this far in the video, and it will help me to get to know you better. And then number 3, I want to know you. So that pattern recognition of seeing your name pop up with these emojis. And number 4 is I will pray over you. If you don't believe in prayer, I'll uplift you in positive thought. It's important to me, like, to have a positive space, and I don't think that we get that, particularly with like shortages and like, let's have a positive, amazing community. I also want to know in the comments, because we are action focused, what are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? Tell me in the comments below. For me, it's going to be wall Pilates and sticking to my protein. I went last night to Panda Express and got the teriyaki chicken. I got 3, you can get 3 portions worth, and then vegetables. They're super green vegetables. Oh my gosh, so much protein, so healthy. It has a little bit of soy sauce in it, but not really. It's more of garlic in the vegetables. My husband and I, they're the freshest vegetables. Panda Express, call me for a sponsorship. As is Eli Lilly. I'm putting this out there. We're manifesting this. I want a sponsorship so badly from Eli Lilly. Call me Eli Lilly. I know during the shortages, that I'm just assuming, I don't know, but I'm assuming they can't have sponsorships, but I would love that. I would love that. And any other news places too, I would love that as well. I'd like to be on Good Morning America again, or the Today Show. I've never been on that. I've been on the Good Morning America. I would love that too. Enough of my manifestations, with God's help, of course. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, count us for shopping, count my blessings because life is delicious. Stay positive, friends. Don't let this shortage get you down. Love ya.